Hey guys, very good afternoon everyone. Would like to welcome back everyone here to the session. Let's continue back our journey, guys, in the world of this series, which we have started. So in the previous class, we have started about Python as a programming language. In the Python programming language, we're talking about object-oriented programming over here. So let me quickly open my folder where I have my entire code. It's already stored in the documents folder. And this is the folder where we are running the entire code of ours over here, right? So what I want to open this entire code in a Jupyter notebook. So let me type Jupyter notebook in my command prompt. So same folder, wherever it is present in the same directory. So I'm writing here Jupyter notebook over here, right? So I press enter, and as soon as I press enter, this entire code is technically available here and it's loaded. And this new URL has been opened in my tab here of Jupyter Notebook, right? So in this case, we maintain our entire directory. This is our directory where we are maintaining the entire code inside our directory, right? So now what I want to create a new notebook here. So I can create a new Python notebook. And in this notebook, I want to create something here. So entire kit, let me rename this notebook here called as maybe day 5 in our case, right? So this is our day 4 and this is just renamed it to day 5. Now what I want, if I want to create a blueprint of some object, we can create it with the keyword in the Python, which is technically called as class as a keyword. So class as a keyword, I am using it here to create some class, a kind of a blueprint of some uh, topic. For example, I want to create it here for vehicle. So somebody has come up and they are creating a vehicle as a class. VHI vehicle as a class. I've created it over here. Now in this class, if somebody try to do it, one method I'm creating. Now I'm not using constructor here today. Just a simple method I'm using it, maybe start. So this class, the duty of this class is technically to start the code. Now I'm reducing a self keyword here, and this function will print something. Maybe vehicle started, right? So this is one class created here. And if I create an object of this vehicle, maybe I have creating one maker here, maybe Nexon. So Nexon is one variable name. And this car, I'm just technically assigning it to vehicle. So method will be, or the object will be technically created here with a Nexon object. Now this Nexon car has the property to start the engine, right? So they have a property to start the engine and they will tell vehicle started over here, right? So this is one car which I just created here, and this vehicle has created one object. The object is technically called as Nexon, right? Maybe any of the object or all the vehicles in the world has a property to start the engine or which to start the vehicle, right? So इस केस में हम यहाँ पे एक और नया ऑब्जेक्ट कर रहे हैं. Maybe Kia as a car, I am using it here, and Kia as a car also is a vehicle, so it belongs to a vehicle here. And now you can see Kia has also a possibility to start the engine. तो किया के पास भी ये जो मेथड हमने किया है, इस मेथड को ये ऑब्जेक्ट से भी देख सकते हैं, right? So this is one thing here in my case. Now what happened, guys, what I want to do one thing. I want my one class which is technically called as vehicle class here, right? So this vehicle class had a property to inherit something over here. For example, let me talk about your grandfather. If you talk about grandfather of yours, so your grandfather has maybe black hairs, so their hairs are technically black. Your grandmother also has a black hair. So guys, technically, your father will also have a black hair in this case. So you have to talk about father here. So from your grandfather, your father has inherited some properties here. And again, your mother and your father both have some same black hair. So your child will definitely will have a black hairs in this case, right? So it is technically like this black hairs which you guys are have on your head. ये black hairs are coming from your mother and father. Your mother and father, maybe they inherited this property, your father inherited this property from your grandfather and your grandmother, right? So this is topic is technically called as inheritance. Right? So we have multiple types of inheritance with us. So in this case, I'm talking about simple inheritance first in this case, a single inheritance, right? So what I want, this is technically multiple inheritance. Well, an example of one simple example of single inheritance is one class I already had called vehicle class. I'm not creating one more class here called car as a class, right? And now what I want, every car is definitely a vehicle. So I want to tell here that every car will inherit all the properties which the class vehicle has. तो इसके अंदर जितने भी मेथड्स हमने क्रिएट किए हैं, ये सारे मेथड्स को हम यहाँ पे रिट्रीव कर सकते हैं इस केस में, राइट? तो हम यहाँ मेंशन करें व्हीकल क्लास, दिस इज अ एक्चुअली कार क्लास का पेरेंट क्लास क्या है, व्हीकल क्लास है इस केस में, दैट्स इट. नाउ आई एम क्रिएटिंग हियर मे बी फंक्शन हियर मे बी कॉल्ड प्ले म्यूजिक, right? Just a name of a function, and if something happens, they will print here for us. If this method is called, then this class will inherit the properties, all the properties from vehicle class, and this vehicle class can do something, maybe play music, playing music. That's it here. So now what I want to see car property. So again, I have a car here called uh, C1 as a car I have with me. C1 is object I'm creating. So all the object what car has. So C1 now will have both the properties. It will have all the properties from its parent class also. This is technically called as vehicle class here. So जो भी properties, जो भी methods आप vehicle class में थे, same methods will be there inside the C1 also over here. So your child class is this is car is considered technically a child class here. So it will possess all the properties which your parent class already have. So this level of inheritance is technically called as single level of inheritance. It's called as single inheritance. There are multiple different types also of inheritance. I'm not talking about single inheritance here today, right? So now if you see this entire properties, the car had a function called play music. So it can start the music. So it's not a what require one positional argument. So it is also one of the method which is created inside it. So car technically can do two things for you. Car can also play music. Car can also play something like the car can also start the engine for you. So if I talk about here, maybe self keyword, I'll write it here. One keyword. So object again created, play music. So I'm ready to run the function here. It is playing the music here, right? Also car has one property which their parents have, which is technically start the engine. So a start property जो थी ये तो vehicle class की थी, right? So this is technically called as inheritance. यहाँ पे कार क्लास ने जो भी कार ऑब्जेक्ट की है C1 ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट हुआ है यहाँ पे C1 ऑब्जेक्ट ने पूरी प्रॉपर्टीज को इनहेरिट किया है फ्रॉम इट्स पेरेंट्स क्लास. तो इसका पेरेंट क्लास कौन सा है, कार का. ये चाइल्ड क्लास हो गया, ये पेरेंट्स क्लास है, व्हीकल इज अ पेरेंट क्लास. सो दिस इज टेक्निकली कॉल्ड एज गाइस सिंगल इनहेरिटेंस ओवर हियर इन दिस केस. देयर इज वन मोर एग्जांपल ऑफ मल्टीपल इनहेरिटेंस. फॉर एग्जांपल एक हेडिंग दे देते हैं यहाँ पे क्विकली मार्क डाउन करके. So it's multiple inheritance, right? So let me give a heading here, better heading. So multiple inheritance is just a heading name. Right? So now what I want in this class, for example, I have one more class here called camera as a class. So this is just one new class. So this camera has a property or method I am creating here, maybe click photo underscore photo. So this one method, ये parent class है यहाँ पे. Or maybe one example, just with this example. After this one more example I'll give you. one little bit easier example after this, right? So this is one class called click photo class. What is this property of this? What this class will do? It will click a photo. So maybe photo clicked, right? So one class created. This is actually my main class. Maybe one more class I'm creating here called phone class. This is one new class, independent class. It's not inheriting any property. So phone has a property to call someone, right? So call class यहाँ पे create कर रहे हैं. It will also do calling. It will print something. I am calling. Maybe calling, right? So two properties I created here, and in this class, one class of camera, one class of phone. So two different class I have created it over here. Now what I multiple inheritance means? So technically multiple inheritance का एक example देखते हैं यहाँ पे. हमारे पास यहाँ पे कैमरा क्लास है और हमारे पास यहाँ पे फोन क्लास है in this case. Now one more new class I am going to create, which is technically called as maybe smartphone class. Smartphone class, whatever it is, right? So smartphone class will inherit all the properties from camera class also and your phone class also over here. But it's just like you from your mother and your father, both the properties you have inherited in yourself. So son or child class, technically child or sibling we can say in your case, so they have inherited your all the properties from your mother and father, both the property. This is technically called as multiple inheritance, multi-inheritance. You inherited multiple properties from your mother also and from your father also, and both the properties you have inside you. So all the features child will have from both the classes here, multi-level inheritance technically. So I'm creating one class here called smartphone. So what I want, it should inherit all the property from camera also, and it should inherit all the property from phone also. So this phone, all the properties, right? And this is doing nothing. It is just doing maybe printing or something like this. It will print phone here, something like this, phone, and it will just read a name. Sorry, why it's not working here properly? 1 second. So this is a function. This function is doing something here, right? So simple example, print I am smartphone. That's it. So now you can see when I'm creating an object of it, maybe one S phone here I'm creating, right? And this is my smartphone now. So you can see smartphone has both the properties. It can retrieve, it can have all the methods from camera class also, which is technically click a photo. So click a photo, so this photo clicked. So if I tell smartphone, do one thing, this is one of the smartphone, maybe make a phone call. So you can see phone call also this has been, but phone call जो है वो phone की property थी. फोन का मेथड लिखा था हमने यहाँ पे. So both the properties it is inheriting inside it. It's technically called as multiple inheritance या multi inheritance भी बोला जाता है इसको. So हम अगर फोन चेक करें तो देखो आई एम स्मार्टफोन और इसके पास खुद की प्रॉपर्टीज भी है विच इज टेक्निकली कॉल्ड एज फोन. सो फोन नाम से क्रिएट किया था हमने. सो सी आई एम स्मार्टफोन. So phone is telling I am smartphone, and also one more property to call. So you can see calling भी दो रहा है. So both the properties they are inheriting from their parents. They are called as multi-inheritance. And there is one more topic, inheritance, one more type of inheritance which is technically called as multi-level actually, multi-level inheritance. So which means one more example I'm giving here, multi-level inheritance. Right. So what is the meaning of multi-level inheritance? It is like a chain. So what example we seen here, grandfather, your father inherited properties from your grandfather, right? And the child inherited properties from their father. So जो भी आपके grandfather से आ रहा है, it is like entire multi-level of inheritance here. So from grandfather, your father has some properties, some features, and from your father, you have received some features. So it's like a multi-level inheritance. So one level, which is child level, this is your parents level. This is your grandfather over here, for suppose. So this is technically called as multi-level inheritance, right? So an example of it, for example, I have one class called animal class, right? This is just one class I'm creating, and this class, every animal eats something. So maybe they will tell I am eating. Print here, I'm telling I am eating. So this animal class is eating something over here. Maybe one more class I'm creating here called dog class. So dog is inheriting all the properties from animal class. And maybe dog class will say I am doing a bark here. Right? So self keyword, and then I will print barking here in this case. Now there is one more class called puppy class. So this class, which is puppy, so puppy will inherit all the properties from the dog class. So it's like a son over here, right? And they will try to whip over here, for example. So I'll press self keyword and they will print here maybe whipping, right? So now as soon as maybe Tommy is the puppy we have, so Tommy has all the properties now which they have with the with the parent class have. So it have all the properties like he can also bark, he can also eat. This bark, if you will see, this is barking. So Tommy can also do whipping over here. Tommy do whipping. So he can do whipping over here right now in this case. So ये टॉमी ने ये पपी की बात करते हैं. पपी क्लास इनहेरिट कर रही है सारी प्रॉपर्टीज को डॉगी क्लास से, डॉग क्लास से, और डॉग क्लास इनहेरिट कर रही है एनिमल क्लास से. So it's like multi-level inheritance. Your guys, one more example of it, one simpler example. Maybe your grandfather, maybe one class I'm creating it here called grandfather class. So one class, sorry, spelling is wrong. So this is one class called grandfather. Maybe your grandfather has one car, maybe has a house, for example. Maybe you call this house over here. So this grandfather has maybe, let me print it here. So I'm printing some properties here. Maybe your grandfather has two apartment, maybe 10 BHK apartment, right? So that, for example, your father grandfather has 10 BHK apartment. Maybe your father also purchased some property. So your father has one villa. So one class creating father class, but will inherit all the properties from your grandfather class, right? So I'm writing one function here, maybe villa function, right? So this self keyword, and you're printing maybe uh, villa. I'm printing villa, sea facing villa, right? Your father has purchased the property maybe sea facing villa. After some time, you as a child class, you as a children of your father as will inherit all the properties from your father, right? And you as a siblings on all the children technically have purchased one car here. So one car, technically maybe you have purchased one BMW as a car. So you have a car will have BMW over here. And now maybe Jack is one of the son. So Jack is the children. So the children class assigned it. Now you can see Jack will possess all the property which his father has, which is villa property. Then see he will get the villa also inherited from his father, and Jack will also inherit the house which he had from his grandfather, right? And also Jack has already has a car, so Jack can have his own car also over here. So it's technically called a multi-level inheritance. One from one generation, the property is just like passing to another generation. So it's called technically called multi-level inheritance in it over here, right? One more example is one more new we have it, which is technically called as hierarchical inheritance. So HIERARICAL, hierarchical, forget about the spelling, guys. whatever the spelling is, let me cross check one more time quickly. So hierarchical inheritance इसका example, this is the level. इसका example भी देख सकते हो यहाँ पे. So from one parent class you have multiple parent class, you are inheriting one single property from them, right? So for example, this is class G here with us, right? From this, there your father inherited, and from your father you all siblings will be inherited over here. So grandfather property divided among two of their siblings, which is your father and your uncle, and from your father your property will be distributed, maybe for example between A class, which is your child 1 and child 2 over here. In this case, this is technically called as hierarchical inheritance. So the spelling is this one. Let me cross check and add it here. This is hierarchical inheritance, right? So for example, I'm creating one class here called maybe vehicle class only. In this class, I want to do one thing, maybe function, they have a start function here. So what this will do, it will start the engine, print maybe vehicle started, right? So one class I had already with me. One more class I had with me, which is called as car class. It will inherit all the properties from vehicle class. And what it will do, maybe this car class have wheels, right? So they have maybe four wheels over there. So print, I'm printing here four wheels, something like this, right? So one more class called car class, maybe one more class I had it called bike class over here. So bike class, I'm creating it over there, but bike also has a vehicle started. So I'm grabbing all the properties from vehicle. So you can see from one grandfather class, technically as a grandfather class, your father and your uncle, for example here, it is inheriting all the properties over here. So maybe car have wheels. If car is the wheels, it can go have only two wheels, right? So I'm printing bike, sorry, bike as a vehicle, so it will have two wheels with us over here in this case. So right now what do we have? One vehicle, two different classes, they are contributing it over there. One different class called car class, one different class called bike class. Now what happen if we were creating one class here called C as a car class? So car class, and see, I created a car class. So C has two different properties, start also, right? One, two different properties in a vehicle can start also, and also vehicle have the wheels. So we check the wheels in the car, it has four wheels. Same way, maybe we have a bike also. So bike is bike class, I'm assigning it over here. So bike has two properties, start also from their father, and maybe they have one more class called wheels class. In this class, you will see two wheels over here. So it is technically the example of hierarchical inheritance. One property you are inheriting from some another property over here, right? So example like this, your father's property divided among two different example over here. Maybe your father, and maybe your uncle. So they both have the some properties which they have from your grandfather, and also their own property. Maybe your father has a villa, your uncle has a bungalow, or maybe a farmhouse, right? So different aspects, but this level of inheritance is called as multi level of inheritance. Yeah, sorry, hierarchical inheritance in the type of object oriented programming over here, right? Now there is one more type, guys, which is technically called as hybrid inheritance. Let me rename it over here. So this is technically hybrid inheritance. What is the meaning of hybrid inheritance, guys? Hybrid inheritance means it is a mix of technically two or more different inheritance type. For example, hierarchical का भी mix रहेगा, plus multiple inheritance का भी mix है. For example बताते हैं इसका, quickly इसका example देखते हैं हम लोग एक बार यहाँ पे, इसको एक बार quickly run कर लेते हैं. So for example, I'm creating one vehicle class only. Same example, I'm just showing it over here. So inside this example, hybrid में कुछ part इसमें mix है multi inheritance का और hierarchical inheritance का, right? So hybrid में हम क्या कर रहे हैं? Vehicle है, ये vehicle start हो रही है, ये class हमारे पास created है. Maybe I'm creating one more class here called car as a class. So car is also inherit all the properties from vehicle class, right? Also it will do something. Maybe इसके अंदर wheels check करें तो maybe they have only 4 different wheels. So I'm printing here they have maybe 4 wheels over here in this case, right? Maybe one more class I'm doing it is called battery class. Battery class is not inheriting anything from anyone. Maybe charge as a function, just a method, right? And now this method will print I am charging. That's it. Now, right? So now electric, one more class I'm creating here called electric class. So the electric class, electric car will inherit all the properties for car also, right? It will inherit all the properties of battery also here. It's capital B, battery class, right? So it's a class, sorry. So I have to write class. It's do nothing, it will go and just tell pass. That's it. So now what I want, let's suppose I have purchased one EV car. EV car also has maybe electric car. So they inherit all the properties over here. As you can see, they have an option called charging also. So it will print charging. They have an option called start also. They inherit the property from technically from vehicle class, right? Right, but via car class they have inherited over here. So in this case कार क्लास व्हीकल क्लास को इनहेरिट कर रही है और इलेक्ट्रिक जो क्लास है वो कार क्लास को इनहेरिट कर रही है यहां पे. Right, so there are multiple, this is technically called as hybrid inheritance, right? So it's a combination of multi inheritance, right, and hierarchical inheritance. So one class inheriting from another class. So बैटरी क्लास देखें तो ये मल्टी इनहेरिटेंस की तरह यहाँ पे हमने इसको इनहेरिट कर रही है और यहाँ पे कार क्लास हाइब्रिड क्लास के थ्रू यहाँ पे नॉट हायरार्कियल क्लास के थ्रू व्हीकल क्लास को एक्सेस कर पा रही है, राइट? सो इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ हायरार्की and it's a combination of this one also, right? Inheritance, which is multi inheritance, right? So the दोनों का combine बना के this combination is technically called as hybrid inheritance over there in this case, right? So the one topic of inheritance was remaining here of object oriented programming. Just want to add this code over here today. Now what I want, right, slowly guys, we will be starting with both the topics. For example, whatever we learned in Python, it still now is more than enough to start back our journey while integrating AWS also along with it. So this is my Python code, whatever we have learned today, more than enough to use the Python comfortably over there in the future. Now what I want to add some part of cloud over here, and then slowly you will see after learning just today's part will be more like a AWS cloud over here, right? So it's a combination of Python plus AWS cloud, and then we integrate both the technologies together and we build some very interesting projects over here in this case, right? So Python plus AWS combined we are going to see into this training. So whatever we learned in Python is more than enough for us for now, but slowly let's start with the cloud also over here in this case, right? So one example here in this case we want to show you. So let's start our cloud here. So Python I'm not, it's like not completed completely, but we'll come back again to Python. But let's start with the AWS cloud today, and then slowly one or two parts of AWS cloud you become more comfortable. After that we will come back to Python and we will integrate both the things together over here. Maybe today's class only we'll go and do it over here in this case, right? So for example, what we want to go, for example, we want to have an operating system, right? And you know, guys, on the top of operating system or server, we call it as technically. So server, we or any world in the world is hosting the website. So all the websites which is technically running in the world, may it be google.com, may it be Hotstar, may it be Amazon, may it be Flipkart, may it be eBay, or any website in the world, or e-commerce business in the world, or any technically website is somewhere or the other running on top of servers over there, right? So there are two type of different architecture in terms of web development. I don't want to go in that part, but technically most of the time what happens is we require server to launch any application in the world. So we want to have a multiple application, and whatever, for example गूगल की बात करते हैं, तो गूगल का जो सर्च इंजन है, definitely from the browser we go and search it google.com. बट इवेंचुअली व्हाट हैपेंस, गूगल क्या के डॉट कॉम पे सर्च करते हैं, तो बिहाइंड द सीन इट गो बैक टू द गूगल सर्वर. गूगल सर्वर विल टेक द रिक्वेस्ट from whatever request we are looking forward with, and behind the scene they'll go and check in their databases if they have something information, find relatable information to what we are looking forward with. Then they found out with the information, and then this server will respond back to us over here, right? So if we want an operating system or technically a server to run any application inside the world, right? So any application, maybe any application I'm telling, not just web application, mobile app, maybe mobile application, maybe some desktop application or any other application. So we need to, for technically for running the code of that application, we need an operating system environment. And for getting the operating system environment, we have four different ways, right? Worst way is technically called as bare metal way, which means technically you guys went to the market, right? You went to the market, you went to one shop over there, and on those shop you purchased the laptop from this particular shopkeeper, right? The one shop you have purchased a laptop from him, and you have got on the top of laptop, not I'm talking about laptop, which means technically, guys, you purchase RAM, CPU, hard disk, networking device, all the device which is required to run your application. You guys have added it over here in this case. So now you paid the upfront amount. Upfront amount means you have given the money to the shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper has then taken one, attached one pen drive into your laptop, or they have inserted one CD in your laptop, which is technically they use the image of the operating system. So yeah, maybe they have used the image of Windows 11 operating system, and this image they have inserted to your laptop, and they have installed the entire operating system and given to you, right? So this is also one of the way to get the operating system. One more another way to get the operating system is using maybe virtualization as a technology, right? One of them, one more way over here with us over in this case. So the virtualization, which means using the base hardware, विंडोज के ऊपर ही एक और ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को लॉन्च करेंगे. मे बी यू गाइज लॉन्च रेड हैट लिनक्स और एनी अदर लिनक्स ओवर देयर इन द वर्ल्ड, right? This is also one of the way to get the operating system, but here in this case हमें multiple products चाहिए virtualization के. We need the softwares, right? One of the software which will help us to launch the virtual machine, this is technically called as virtual machine on the top of the RHEL, right? So virtual machine इसको बोला जाता है, right? So virtual में multiple products, maybe Oracle VM VirtualBox we have with us. Were created by Oracle company. Maybe we have VMware as a workstation. One more another product over here in this case. One more way, if you want an operating system, is called containerization. Very, very important. Containerization. Container, so for example, container. So containerization, we have multiple different product. One of the product is called Docker. One of the product is called Podman. One of the product is called Cryo. One more we have is called Rocket. So multiple products are available. Cryo, Podman, Docker, Rocket, whatever you needed when and when the requirement comes up, you guys can go and learn it in the near future. So multiple different tools of containerization we have. They also provide us a operating system environment. One more way we have it is technically called as cloud computing way, right? So in the cloud computing world, they have guys two different ways. So अगर आप cloud computing की बात करें, तो cloud computing is one of the service which provide us infrastructure, which provides software as a service. So they provide us everything available here on the cloud. So in the cloud also we have two different types. One is maybe public cloud. One is technically called as private cloud over here. Right. So public cloud and private cloud, two different types we have it. In the public cloud also, guys, we have different types of cloud. For example, one of the very famous example is AWS cloud, right? We have GCP as an example, we have Azure as an example, we have Alibaba as an example. So they are all the examples. One of the different companies created it. For example, AWS, Amazon created it. GCP, Google created it. Azure, Microsoft created it. So every company has a different software available over here, like the different product they have created of cloud computing in their case, right? Alibaba has also their cloud, maybe Oracle has a cloud. So different examples I just want to give you over here. So talking about private cloud, we can own set up our cloud. Answer is yes, using one tool which is widely used in the market called OpenStack. So OpenStack is one more tool which will help us to launch the infrastructure, right? So we will help us to not launch the infrastructure, set up the cloud on the top of the infrastructure we have. So private cloud also we can create it in our case. One more variety which is rightly booming in the industry is technically called as hybrid cloud. Very much booming in the market. It's called hybrid cloud, guys. So technically hybrid cloud means some part of your application will be in your public cloud, some part of your application will be working in the private cloud also. For example, maybe your front end is running in public cloud, your maybe databases is stored in your private cloud over here, right? So we have two different types, multiple different types of cloud, out of which, guys, wherein most we are going to see one of the cloud here in this training called AWS as a cloud. And why we gonna go and use AWS? One of the biggest reason is, guys, across all the companies in the world, AWS has 23% market share. What do I mean by 23% market share? The meaning of this is very simple. It means 23% companies from across the world are using their cloud, right? And why we need a cloud, guys? First thing you have to understand this. For example, without cloud, if I need to launch any of the product, any of the website, technically I have to go to the market and I have to create my own different server over here. Server, maybe I want a RAM here called 736 GB RAM, right? So I'm talking about 736 GB RAM, not hard disk. 736 GB RAM I needed. Maybe I need a hard disk of 65 TB. Multiple clients are connecting it to a website. So a lot of data, a lot of in this big data world, guys, a lot of data come up. A lot of clients store multiple data, multiple information. We need to store it. So we have RAM, we need hard disk, we need to purchase maybe some networking device over here in this case, right? Again, this server, if I'm creating it, so I need to have a one piece of a land where I'll manage entire my server, one place, one quiet place with some air conditioning enabled. I need something like entire power outrage supplies, battery supplies, so that this servers don't stop it. Even though I need monitoring team to monitor this 24/7, I need maybe security team to manage all the patches, all the updates over here. Maybe I need a networking team to do the setup of this entire operating system or entire server and manage the entire incoming traffic, outgoing traffic from my system or my server. So multiple things we need to manage it guys, right? So अगर हम इसको खुद से पूरा सर्वर को क्रिएट कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ पे बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन हमको खुद यहाँ पे प्रोवाइड करनी होंगी और खुद परचेस करना होगा. अगेन दिस मच विल रिक्वायर्स अस maybe for example 30 lakh rupees. So total cost would become something like 30 lakh rupees for just launching the infrastructure for creating and running the softwares. And maybe in the real world when my clients are connecting, they're also connecting at that particular point only, right? So my clients हमारे server पे connect कर रहे हैं and on the server they are receiving the information, they are doing purchasing the products, they are buying some stuffs, tons of other things they are going and doing it over here, right? So what I want 23% market share. So in and around we have to invest 30 lakh rupees, just to minimum rupees amount I'm talking, even though it will be a lot more higher, but this much they are requiring it over here. So what we need to do, we need to purchase the RAM. So अगर हम RAM का cost देखें 736 GB RAM का cost. So I'm just checking it. 736 GB RAM cost, right? So they'll tell me in and around maybe I required 1.2 lakh rupees to 2.4 lakh rupees. Just a simple RAM they're talking about. If I take a high speed RAM, it will definitely cost me around 4 to 5 lakh rupees for the entire RAM. 1646 into 16 GB. 46 RAMs you need to purchase here of 16 GB, right? So this is the entire setup. We need to do it manually. और फिर जाके हमारा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम लॉन्च हो पाएगा वहां पे, तब जाके हमारी वेबसाइट लाइव हो सकती है. एंटायर पर्सन इन द वर्ल्ड आर कम एंड स्टार्ट यूजिंग इट, right? So but all of a sudden traditionally earlier way we used to do the same way, we invest lot more to purchase the hardware. But when the cloud computing technology came into the market, they told one thing to us, right? They told us you don't need to worry about this investment. You don't have to worry about setting up and managing that monitoring team, security team, or networking team. Everything I will do from your side. Everything will be managed by the guys of AWS. You just have to go and use it over there. And usage is also was very, very important, guys. It is technically telling us how much you use it. For example, if you use this operating system for 1 hour, just pay me for 1 hour only. So this model is technically called as pay as you go model. Pay as you go model here in this case, right? And pay as you go model means likewise we arrange it here like जैसे हम उसको यूज करेंगे वैसे वैसे यहाँ पे हमें इसको पे करना होगा, राइट? इसको हमें पे करना होगा इस पर्टिकुलर केस में. तो इट इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. इफ आई एम यूजिंग इट फॉर 10 hours, I don't have to give this entire amount and purchase it, hire a team who will manage everything for me. Instead, what I have to do, I have to quickly go and run it for 10 hours over here, right? Guys, just hold on for a minute, please. Oh, everybody, please hold on for a second, please. So let's continue. So in this case, it's working upon a pay as you go model, right? So in this model, pay as you go, which means जितना हमें use करना है, जितना हम use करेंगे, उतना ही हमें pay करना होगा. They'll not charge us extra money, or even though we don't need to buy it also, all the headache of managing everything, managing security updates, managing security patches, entire networking, entire patching on backup, entire recovery part will completely done by AWS guys. We just have to go and use it. Have I use for 1 hour, give them the price for 1 hour and use it. That's it over here in our case. So this model is very interesting. So slowly, all the companies in the world, rather than investing a huge amount from lakhs of rupees, I'm technically not lakhs of rupees, crores of rupees, we will see. If you go and build your own server, it requires a lot of resources over there, right? So they are not investing this much. They technically started shifting for the cloud as a domain. So cloud technically helps you to reach and provide the server and on a rent basis, simple words. If you use it for 1 hour, just pay it for 1 hour. You use it for 1 day, you use it for 1 day, just give me a price for 1 day. Everything will be managed by AWS guys, right? And why AWS we are using is big reason is almost 23% in the world, has a biggest market share in the world of cloud computing, right? So almost all the companies, like 23 companies in the entire world, are using AWS Cloud as a service uh, for launching their cloud computing application. So right, what now I want? Let's go and see some four more basic terminologies. So what AWS has done is, guys, so entire world, if you see about it over here in the world of AWS, so पूरे world में लगभग लगभग बहुत 28 places पे AWS ने अपना डेटा सेंटर और काइंड ऑफ अ सर्वर सेंटर बना रखा है. Right? This data center is one of the data center may be situated in USA. One of the data center may be situated in Mumbai. India की बात करें तो मुंबई में located है. One of the data centers stored in Singapore. Maybe one of the data centers stored they have created in Tel Aviv. Right? Maybe one in some Kuwait or some other region. So likewise, they have created 28 global different location, and they are also planning to have 7 more new upcoming data centers or kind of a centers, which is technically they called it as a region. So पूरे world को 28 different sectors में और regions में AWS ने divide कर दिया है 28 sectors में. राइट. सो ऑल दिस सेक्टर्स, इसको टेक्निकली बोला जाता है रीजन. सो अगर हम देखें एडब्ल्यूएस का, एडब्ल्यूएस रीजन्स वर्ल्ड मैप, find something like this. So we'll see somewhere here in this image. So you can see in this image, entire world they have added it and kept it over there for 28 data centers. Now in this case, you can see from here also, one is maybe in Tel Aviv, one is maybe in USA, California, North California, one they have created in Oregon, one they have created in maybe Iceland, one they have in India, which is technically Mumbai, one more they created in Mumbai, which is technically in India, which is technically called as Hyderabad. From 2022, they are coming up over here, right? One more in Hong Kong, one more in Osaka, Seoul, Beijing, right? So entire world, Tokyo, Melbourne, Sydney, Jakarta, Cape Town. So all the world they have divided, and they have right now 28 different active regions. And for the 7 different regions, they are also introducing new 7 regions, which they have started working upon it, which and there which will be coming up soon with us over there, right? So create your AWS account. To create this, access this regions and all the services of AWS, we need to have our AWS custom account. So how to create your AWS account? No worries. My team, I'll ask them. They will go and share you one video of ours. From there, you guys can go and create your own AWS account. Right? Very simple, nothing big deal. Don't have to worry about it over here. Right? So in this case, पूरे वर्ल्ड को यहाँ पे डिवाइड कर रखा है 28 डिफरेंट एक्टिव रीजन्स में. अब पूरे वर्ल्ड को डिवाइड करने के बाद जिसको बोला जाता है रीजन. तो मुंबई पे ऊपर आते हैं. इंडिया के अंदर 2 रीजन्स हैं. वन इज इन मुंबई, अनदर वन इज इन हैदराबाद, राइट. सो दिस मुंबई एज अ रीजन, अगेन फर्दर व्हाट दे हैव डन, हो सकता है मुंबई एज अ रीजन is more prone, it's like a center of the India, it comes almost in the center of the central part of India, right? So that maybe one of the reason they have added it over there, or maybe XYZ other reasons they had it to add in Mumbai. So what happened, let's suppose Mumbai, this is the Mumbai as a data center they have created in Mumbai, right? And this is the whole Mumbai, let's suppose. So in Mumbai, they have, they have surrounded by oceans. So multiple oceans they have it, but if they have implemented multiple डिजास्टर रिकवर स्ट्रेटेजी ऑल्सो गाइस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर कुछ नेचुरल कॉज से कोई अर्थक्वेक आ जाए, कोई सुनामी आ जाए, कोई फायर आउटरेज हो जाए, फॉर ऑल दिस केस इफ समहाउ दिस डेटा सेंटर गोज डाउन, ये डेटा सेंटर अगर किसी भी रीजन से डाउन होता है, तो इसको प्रिवेंट करने के लिए व्हाट दे हैव डन, मे बी यहां से 100-200 किलोमीटर दूर एग्जैक्टली सेम कॉपी और सेम डेटा सेंटर क्रिएट कर रखा है. What this data center will contain? Will contain, we can store exact copy here also, and it will store exact copy here also. And from here also, maybe again हो सकता है सुनामी आ जाए तो ये डेटा सेंटर अफेक्ट हो जाए, राइट? तो मे बी यहाँ से अगर और बड़ी सुनामी आए तो यहाँ से भी अफेक्ट हो जाए, ये डेटा सेंटर भी अफेक्ट हो जाएगा. तो वन मोर डेटा सेंटर दे क्रिएटेड, मे बी 100-200 kilometers again difference. So this data center may be 1C over here. So these are technically called as guys availability zone to prevent from any natural calamity, any disaster. What these guys have done is these guys have quickly went over there and launch and set up the entire setup of like and for preventing it. So if something goes down, they have two data centers up and they can manage and the entire website of the clients and everything smoothly over there, right? So almost this much planning they have done it, and it is not compulsory guys. This data centers are technically called as AGs or AZs, right? AZs means they have created multiple availability zone. One goes down, we have two. Two goes down, we have three. Right? Third is the worst case scenario. इससे बुरा तो नहीं हो सकता है, मतलब वर्ल्ड खत्म हो चुकी है फिर. Right? So that in this case they created different data center. If you want to see it, how they created it, so you can go and search on AWS Mumbai data center images. I can search and find it on Google, tons of images. So it's look like something like this, guys. So inside this big warehouse, it looks like something like this. A very big warehouse. This is just a smaller image they are showing it here. But very big warehouse. It has all the power supply also with them. It has all the maintenance. It have all the cooling devices. Everything. They have a team also is continuously keep on monitoring all the system which is running it over there, right? So this is one data center, for example. Likewise, they have created three AGs inside the Mumbai as a region. Some of the AGs they might have one only. Some of the AGs they might have two or three also over there. Maybe four or five also they might have it, right? So likewise, everywhere in this warehouse is just like this wires, guys. You see, as our room, this is all connected within some rack. This is technically called a rack, and in this rack they have all their operating system connected it all together. So from one rack for RAM, maybe one rack for hard disk, one rack for storage device, any other storage device, SSD, or maybe one of the rack for technically networking device. So likewise, इस तरीके से big number of rack and number of racks they have created and they have running it over there in those particular data centers. So हम क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग पे ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को लॉन्च कर सकते हैं, एनी ऑफ द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम इन द वर्ल्ड, right? So if you create your own account, you guys have to go to AWS management console, click on sign in or create account from here. After clicking on create account, just enter your mail address, account name, and just click and verify the entire details over here, right? Right? After this, they required to they will ask you for entering some password, some 2 rupees, some bank details and everything they will ask you. You guys can go and verify and do it over there in this. Otherwise, my team will share you one video how to create your own custom AWS account. My case, I have my own AWS account logged in over here. Now in this cloud, everything is divided into different services. For example, अगर हमें operating system चाहिए, तो we have one service in the AWS cloud called EC2 as a service, right? EC2 is a service which will has technically called elastic computing service. Elastic computing service, the duty of this service is to provide us the operating system over here, right? For example, if you want a storage, you can go for S3 as a storage or EBS as a storage, Elastic Block Storage. You can go and use S3 service if you want the storage service. Maybe you want to send some notification. So in this case, we have SNS as a service with us. Maybe you want to launch a database. We have a MongoDB as a service available. MongoDB will help us to set up the entire databases over there. Database MongoDB we have, any other services available over here. So for every use case, we have different services available in the world. We can go and use whatever service we want to use it over here. राइट सो हमें अगर बिग डेटा चाहिए तो मे बी जेने चाहिए तो वी कैन यूज बेडरूक एज अ सर्विस यू आर लुकिंग फॉर डिवॉप्स एज अ टूल maybe they have code commit, code build, code pipeline, cloud formation. These are all the different types of service available on the cloud. So slowly as we proceed further, we are going to see everything in depth. So right now what I want to launch one instance on the top of cloud. तो हम चाहते हैं EC2 करके एक इंस्टेंस है वो हमें लॉन्च करना है AWS क्लाउड पे, राइट? इन दिस guys, just hold on for a second. Right, so for every use case in the world we have all the small services on the top of cloud, right? अब हम धीरे धीरे services को use करेंगे पहले, will become more comfortable in using it. Then slowly guys, what I will do, I will go and launch and automate this service using Python as a library. So Python के अंदर multiple libraries है. Using Python का code, I am going to launch something on the top of cloud. Using Python code, I want to do something over there, right? So one of the very interesting use case I want to show you today here is कि हम क्या करेंगे आज, very interesting part, हम AWS cloud के ऊपर एक सर्विस यूज करेंगे जिसका नाम है EC2 as a service. On EC2 as a service, I want to run my own website over here. Right, so very interesting website I'll just created. This code is not my duty as a cloud engineer or even as a Python engineer. This duty of giving this code is purely duty of a developer. So who is my developer today? I don't have a developer sitting with me right now here. I'll take this code from maybe any AI tools in the world. Any LLM model will give this code, and I want this code to be running on the cloud of EC2 as a cloud, in the cloud on the top of server as a service, which is technically called as elastic computing service. तो इसके लिए हम AWS console, if you have your own account, this is what your console looks like of AWS. Once you create your account, guys, it requires a longer process. You need to verify your government ID proofs. It requires multiple things. Then they deduct some 2 rupees of your amount from your bank account, and then you need to verify all this your details. After it, they give you some AWS account. They give you for free tier they give everything for 1 year. Technically they used to give it for 1 year. It's 720 hours of EC2 they give you free, and for other services also they give you some part free, but very limited part over here. In this case, this is also a free tier account of one of the student, which I am going to use it here. राइट, तो AWS में जब भी आप लॉग इन करोगे, यू विल फाइंड योर AWS अकाउंट समथिंग लुक्स लाइक दिस ओवर हियर इन दिस केस. सो नॉट दिस वन, this screen. So it look like something like this over here. So on the top you can select the region. हमें ये इंस्टेंस क्या मुंबई में लॉन्च करना है, क्या हमें कैलिफोर्निया में लॉन्च करना है, क्या हमें सिडनी में लॉन्च करना है, टोक्यो में लॉन्च करना है, फ्रैंकफर्ट, or maybe London, Paris, Stockholm, whatever, wherever you want to launch. I'm saying no, I want to launch this inside Mumbai as a region, right? So I'm selecting Mumbai over here in this particular case. So in this case, I can go and search for one of the service called EC2 as a service. ये है Elastic Computing Service. इसको बुलाता है Elastic Computing Service. The duty of this service is to provide the virtual servers in the cloud. इसका मतलब हमें EC2 हमें हेल्प करेगा एक सर्वर को लॉन्च करने के लिए क्लाउड के अंदर. Server is nothing but an operating system, guys, in simple words. So when I go to Elastic Computing, they tell their benefit, highest level of control, widest variety of servers, whether you want with whatever server you wanted, just select it and use it, right? And maybe you can integrate it with other services of AWS Cloud, right? So likewise, slowly, they have different option and benefits they're telling me here. But I want to go and launch my new server on the top of cloud. So I click on launch instance. After that, I will go and walk through launch without a walkthrough. And here they require certain details. First detail they require is what is the name of this particular operating system. So I can tell the name of this operating system is web server operating system, right? And here I'm launching different types of operating system, whether you want Mac OS, whether you want Windows, whether you want Red Hat, whether you want SUSE Linux, whether you want Debian, whether you want Ubuntu. Likewise, every image is available on the top of AWS Cloud. Maximum they have available over there, right? So this is technically called as Amazon machine image. So जब भी आपने लैपटॉप को परचेस किया होगा, at that time that shopkeeper has inserted one pen drive and installed the entire operating system for you. तो this pen drive contain whatever this shopkeeper attach, उसके अंदर क्या था? उसके अंदर कुछ नहीं था. उस ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को लॉन्च करने के लिए, इसको स्टार्ट करने के लिए जितने भी सॉफ्टवेयर थे वो सारे उस पेन ड्राइव के अंदर प्रेजेंट है, right? So all those softwares technically called as bundle of softwares is called as, which is used for launching a operating system, is called as image. So यहाँ पे हमें image select करनी होगी, which image we want to launch it over here. So I want to launch Amazon Linux as a instance in this case. Now if I scroll down, they tell me how many number of CPU you want, how many number of RAM you want. So technically this 2 CPU, 1 GB RAM is more than enough for me, but I can see so many instance types available. 2 GB RAM, 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM, 2 CPUs, 8 GB RAM. Right? So every operating system, they have given different names. Likewise, you scroll down, a little bit or more deep. I'm going it. So they have multiple instances which might have a bigger RAM and CPU. I just want to show you that. So maybe 64 GB RAM they are showing me. Maybe this operating system, 192 CPUs, right? And 384 GB RAM. And if you go 384 GB RAM cost, if I see it, just a cost, 384 GB RAM cost DDR4. So they're asking me for all. I'm going it. So this RAM, only this 384 GB RAM can cost me from 4,000 to 7,000, 7 lakh, not 4,000, from 4 lakh to 7 lakh 50,000. सिर्फ RAM का ही कॉस्ट इतना होगा, बाकी सब डिवाइसेस का कॉस्ट अलग होगा, राइट? तो इतना अमाउंट हमें इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ेगा सिर्फ रैम में इसको परचेस करने के लिए. बट गुड पार्ट इज वी आर लॉन्चिंग इट ऑन द टॉप ऑफ क्लाउड. तो हम यहाँ पे उसको यूज कर सकते हैं क्विकली. तो वो इंस्टेंस टाइप क्या था, एक बार क्विकली चेक करते हैं. यहाँ पे 1384 वाला था. 1 मिनट, समवेयर और द अदर, this one. So this operating system 192 CPUs and 384 GB RAM. अगर हमको इतना बड़ा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम चाहिए तो इसके लिए हमें अगर रेड हैट लिनक्स यूज करते हैं तो ओनली $6.33 रिक्वायरमेंट हो गए. राइट। और अगर हम Amazon लिनक्स यूज करते हैं टेक्निकली, तो इट विल चार्ज अस 4.488 यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स पर डॉलर फॉर पर आर की बात कर रहे हैं। तो वेरी वेरी चीप गाइस। कहाँ मुझे 7.5 लाख रुपीस पे करने पड़ रहे थे, उसके जगह पे हमें $4 पे करने पड़ रहे हैं जस्ट फॉर पर आर बेसिस पे। एंड आई हैव अ रिक्वायरमेंट, आई वांट टू रन इट फॉर मे बी ट्रेनिंग सम मशीन लर्निंग मॉडल फॉर मे बी 15-20 आवर्स और 24 आवर्स आई वांट टू रन इट। तो इस 4 आवर्स को भी अगर मल्टीप्लाई करें हम लोग 24 से, तो सो मच इंस्टेड ऑफ इन्वेस्टिंग and purchasing it, just go and use it on the cloud. So 16, 1 and 6, 8 and 96. Only 96,000 rupees we just have to invest, or we have to give it over there, not 96,000, $96 we have to invest in the case of cloud. $96 की बात करते हैं तो very very cheap guys, you see $96, 96 to INR. So it is 9,000 rupees. Just 9,000 rupees, we can go and use that particular server. Instead of investing 4 GB, 4 lakh rupees, 4 to 7.5 rupees in just RAM, even though we purchased it, वो हमारा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम लॉन्च नहीं होगा, उसको और भी चीजें रिक्वायर्ड होगी. It requires maybe RAM, CPU, hard disk, network devices, all the different devices also is required over there. राइट। सो इन दिस केस इतना सारा इंफॉर्मेशन हम इसको प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, तो हमें इतना कॉस्ट पे करने की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, हम इसको रेंट पे ले सकते हैं क्लाउड पे। तो हर एक इंस्टेंस को डिफरेंट डिफरेंट नेम दे रखा है यहाँ पे। फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज गिवन बाय AWS T3 माइक्रो, ये 2 CPU 1 GB रैम देता है हमें, राइट। अगर हम देखें यहाँ पे M7i फ्लेक्स लार्ज, ये हमें 2 CPU 8 GB रैम मेमोरी देता है यहाँ पे, राइट। सो लाइकवाइज डिफरेंट डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस वी हैव। लेट मी गो फॉर स्मॉलेस्ट वन, दिस इज मोर देन स्मॉलर। So you can see 2 CPU 1 GB RAM is enough for me for now. So I'm giving this type of instance. T3 micro is the type of instance over here. I'm using it. Now, whenever you go and create the instance, guys, और इस instance को हमें authentication करना होगा. Authentication मतलब जब भी ये instance launch हो जाए, आप इसको connect करोगे. कैसे कनेक्ट करोगे? ये तो रन हो रहा है मुंबई में, or maybe you are running it from Jaipur as a city, which is almost 1000 kilometers away. So how you guys will go and connect it? So technically हम इसको remote desktop connection, which is called as SSH command का यहाँ पे use करेंगे to connect it remotely to our particular system. राइट। सो इस केस में हमें की वैल्यू पेयर देनी होंगी। की वैल्यू पेयर डिसाइड करेंगी कि आपके सिस्टम के अंदर आप कैसे ऑथेंटिकेशन करोगे। क्या आप पासवर्ड बेस्ड ऑथेंटिकेशन करोगे? बट जनरली रिमोट डेस्कटॉप कनेक्शन में वी यूज SSH बेस्ड कनेक्शन ओवर हियर। एंड इन योर केस हो सकता है आपके पास फर्स्ट टाइम अगर आप AWS अकाउंट क्रिएट कर रहे हो तो यहाँ पे कोई की ना अवेलेबल हो, राइट। तो इस केस में आप लोग न्यू की को क्रिएट कर लोगे। You will create a new key in this case over here. Right? So just a key value pair. I'm just giving a key name here. Maybe AWS hyphen 10 hyphen days. Just a name I'm giving it of this key. You guys can give any name. Make sure iska extension .pem ho because we are going to use it with OpenSSH. Right? So I'm telling create the key value pair. As soon as you did this, a new key value pair downloaded from your system, in your system, right? And once this key value pair downloaded, you guys can go and scroll down. So this is the key value pair attached. Now as you scroll down, this is your hard disk of the system. How much hard disk you want to give it? 8 GB, 10 GB, 1 TB, 100 GB. You guys can go and decide it from here. So I'm telling I want to give 8 GB is more than enough. And one number of instance I want to launch it over here. So I clicked, I will go and see they are launching the instance here. So slowly they will take some time to launch the instance. And now you go and see in your instances, you will see here there is one instance available called web server as an instance in this case. Now in this web server as an instance, I want to connect this instance. I want to set up my web server on top of it, right? I want to set up my website on top of it. So I can go and click on connect. Here, there are multiple different ways. Whether you want to connect in the browser, whether you want SSH command. So I'm telling I want to connect it in the browser only. But by chance guys, AWS Cloud जो है, only Amazon Linux you can be accessible from your browser. But other Linux like Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu Linux, Kali Linux, Fedora Linux, these all Linux cannot be connected over here using the browser. Now in this case, this screen you are seeing Amazon Linux, this is the screen or the terminal of the instance which is running over here. Now on top of it, first thing I will switch to my root account, sudo su hyphen and press enter. So technically I am the root of this account right now. Now what I want guys, if any of the world, any of the web server you want to set up, right? So any of the web server, technically there are three different steps you guys can follow. First step is guys, store and install the web server in your system. Install the web server, right? Second step is create or copy web pages over here. And third step is start the server. Right? So to install in the Amazon Linux, the command is very simple. The command is yum install and the web server name, whatever web server you want to install. I want to install one of the web server created by Apache as a company. It's called Apache web server over here. So I'm installing Apache web server. The command will be very simple. It will be yum, right? Yum install httpd and press enter here. What will happen? Slowly they'll go and install the entire Apache web server inside on the top of our web server instance running in AWS Cloud over there. Right? They're asking me, do you want to install it? I said, yes, I want to install it. As soon as I press yes, you can see installing, and they've installed it completely over here in my system. Right? Now in this case, I do just they've installed. Second thing is I am using a Apache web server. So Apache web server, we have to copy or create our web pages. What I want, technically one code I created in here today is this one. It's just a website. Wherever you move your mouse, they look it into the eyes here. See, the eyes also move it. And also if you press this button, something reactions happen here. See, multiple button, multiple times, multiple times, multiple times, multiple times, and then they become dead. Right? The violation is just like a countdown. It is doing it over here. You move your mouse, they move their eyes also over here. And if you keep your mouse on top their eyes, they can jiggle it from here also. Right? So likewise, this is just kind of an emoji website I created. This code is purely generated by GenAI. Nothing big deal. If you want to see the code of it, so you guys can quickly open this one. Let me open this in a notepad. This is a pure HTML code. I generated it with Gemini. This is HTML code. So this is the entire code. This is the CSS. This is one of my HTML. This is some script, JavaScript running here, and that's it, guys. You have the entire script created in this case. So this is one of the web page. I just want to copy it over here. Maybe I can generate one more page also here. Let me quickly do it. So I go to my Gemini. I'll ask them create a arcade game in HTML, CSS, JS, amazing UI, UX, and give in single file. right? So this generating the code for me in this case. So they generate the entire HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code. This will be technically running on the top of cloud over there. So I'll be running this on the top of cloud, right? So I'm waiting to generate them the code. They almost generated. This look nice here. Scroll a little bit bigger and looks nice. So if you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, आप लोग भी अपना खुद का कोड यहाँ पे लिख सकते हो, right? So I'm copying this code and I'm creating one new command from inside my desktop, and I'm creating one more new file here, notepad. I'm using it. So notepad, I want to create one file. The file name would be about.html, right? And I press enter. So this new code they created, I pasted this code, entire code, and saved it. Let's go and check it what they have created. So about.html page created. So it's like a neon game. So I insert a coin and this kind of a interface and game they have created. So two different games I have created it over here using Gemini. So this entire code is running it and generating the entire game over here, which is running in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now this game, I want to copy it, this code, I want to copy it in my AWS cloud. So where is my cloud? This is my instance. So in this instance, I want to copy this web pages, but where to copy? This is very important part. So by default, guys, Apache web server maintains their all the web pages in one directory, one folder, which is called as where www HTML directory. So all the web pages are stored into this particular location, right? So what I want to do, I want to go inside this folder. I'm going cd where slash where www HTML. This directory was not there by default. I soon as we had installed HTTPD, this directory automatically come up over here, right? Now in this case, I'm creating one page here with using Vim as a editor, index.html. So Vim editor has all its shortcuts. So I'm telling, press enter. They have opened this entire editor. If I press I key of my keyboard, you can see this has been changed to insert mode. So into insert mode, I'll copy this entire code which I had in index.html page. So let me open it with notepad, copy the entire code and paste it over here. So entire code pasted. Now I want to save this code. So press escape colon W and Q to save and exit inside it. It's just a shortcut of a Vim editor. Just one small practical on this want to show you. So become more familiar with the operating systems also. Intentionally, I'm showing this practical here. Again, nothing big deal. We have to relate it with Python and other thing. If you don't know this, it is 100% okay. Just an extra point I am adding it over here so that you become more familiar with the Linux operating system also in the world. A very interesting part, one single click, this entire website code, we have added it over here. Right now, just one step we have to do is we have to start the web server. So in the Linux, Amazon Linux or a Linux operating system, which is technically the command here is systemctl start and the program name. So I'm telling the program name httpd. Just tell this and they will automatically go and install it over there for us, right? So what this, I'm running the command systemctl start start httpd, the software name. Press enter, it is started. Now very simple click, guys. I'll copy the public IP of my instance from here and see this is the public IP of my instance. copy it from here and open a new tab in your browser and try to connect this website. So make sure you enter a protocol called HTTP protocol colon slash slash and just paste the IP of the system. So you can tell it as triple slash or maybe directly the IP address also will work. So we'll try to run it. They're telling me they're trying to access it, but it is blocked. Cannot be reached. I'm not able to access it. Why it is doing so is because there is one service called firewall. So firewall is preventing here to come any traffic from the outside world try to come inside this instance. They are technically preventing it over here. So what I want, I'm telling I want this firewall to be stopped. So in this case, there is one option here called security as option. So inside security, there is one group called security group. And in this security group, we can edit the inbound rule. So inbound rule and outbound rules means different. So कोई भी ट्रैफिक जो आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड से जो इंटरनेट से आपके सिस्टम पे आ रहा है या इस इंस्टेंस के ऊपर आ रहा है इसको बोला जाता है इनबाउंड रूल inbound traffic. So I'm telling here any traffic which is coming from outside उसको हमें ब्लॉक नहीं करना है अभी ये ब्लॉक्ड है हमें उसे अलाउ करना है so what I'm doing I am just adding one rule here called I want to allow just for now I am allowing all the traffic in the world coming up on my IPv4 will be accessible over here so जैसे हमने firewall change किया अब इसको refresh करना कहाँ गया हमारा IP and see where it is this one this web page just refresh it refresh it refresh it why it's not running because technically HTTPS protocol use कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे HTTP protocol use करना है and see they're trying to reach it but they gave some warning this is not secured something 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 like this why it is giving me warning that is a different story again it is a part of cryptography don't want to go inside it over here click on continue to the site and you can see we are able to see our entire application so pressed it, pressed it, pressed it, pressed it, pressed it. Even though if you guys can access this URL into your browser or can scan this QR code also, which I'm sharing it here. So you guys can see you will also be able to access this website over there in the world, right? So everybody in the world will be able to access this website from this particular URL, right? Why? Because I am getting and accessing this website with the help of public IP. Maybe in one more web page you have added, you decided I want to create one more web page, maybe about web page. So about or maybe game.html. So I press enter. So whatever game we generated here, this is the about page. This game I'm talking about. What I want to add this game also. So I'm copying this editing in notepad copying the entire code from here and I'll just paste the entire code so insert mode I for insert mode right click paste it entire code then after to save and exit this file escape colon w and q and press enter so what will happen you will be exited from the vim editor vim is nothing but a command line text editor over there right now I will just tell systemctl restart httpd that's it so just some changes done restart the httpd server now anybody in the world will try to come at game.html url अगर आप लोग अब game.html वेबसाइट पे आओगे इस url पे स्लैश डबल स्लैश और सिंगल स्लैश game.html and press enter you will see everybody in the world will be able to play this game now so technically I hosted this entire code I hosted it with the help of mouse it is moving it make sure you move it so a little bit faster 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 then this is code is running right so the entire game is running here and try again over here in this case So you take the power, you get some point, take the power, you get some point. So just a game created over here in this case. So guys can also play the entire game. This just a quick game. इस URL पे अगर आप access कर पाओ उसको तो. So entire thing and good part thing is guys, it is running on the top of EC2 as a service. So EC2 के ऊपर run हो रहा है and I can do tons of other things on the top of EC2. Just one game. If I do one click, just I want to stop the instance. So I can went to my instance group dashboard, instance, right? And click on this instance and just stop the instance. You can see as soon as I stop this instance, so I'm waiting, quickly click on stop. I don't want to skip the installation shutdown. It'll smoothly install it over here. So right now, let's see, this instance is stopping. The state is stopping. Refresh, refresh, refresh. This is still stopping. After some time, once it is stopped, you will see nobody in the world will be able to open this game now. So this entire game is right now running in the future and on the top of my instance over here. This is one very, very important part of the AWS cloud. So instance, you run website, maybe you run your web application, maybe you run some machine learning models, maybe tons of other things we can see. Sorry, cannot reach it. Why? Because this system went down. We manually have stopped this instance. It's still in the stopping state. So let's wait it to quickly stop it. Once it is stopped, I can start it also. To start it, quickly start the instance, click on start instance. So you're saying fail to stop instance. It is not a state which cannot be started. So it is technically in the stopping state. So waiting for it to return to stopped state. So it is stopped now, right? So I can start it. So click on instance state and start the instance. One single click, you can see after some time this will be running. Why? We have to run some few commands, which is technically we have to uh, start the Apache web server again. This is the IP is also changed. So IP, we open it, copy this IP and connect this instance. So I'm connecting this instance now. And in this system, everything is same. All the code will be present, all the files will be present, all the softwares will be present, everything whatever we wanted will be present and will be available over there. So systemctl start httpd, one single click, the failed to start httpd access denied. So it requires sudo power, sudo su hyphen root account. I am switching it. Now I am going to run systemctl restart httpd. Every time your system reboot, you need to enter a new IP address right now here. तो AWS क्लाउड में जब भी आप लॉग इन करते हो, जब भी आप इंस्टेंस को स्टार्ट करते हो, इसका IP चेंज हो जाता है. In this case, I'm telling I want to attach this IP slash game.html. See, this is technically after some time you are connected here. So now my entire game, entire website is running on the top of EC2 over here. Even though this IP address also we can change it. We can change it to some domain name, maybe game.html. उसके लिए हमें थोड़ा सा different perspective use करना होता है. हम उसके लिए domain name services DNS server का use करते हैं. Right? So DNS server will help us to convert this IP address into the name. So after some time, it will become www dot maybe google.com, like वैसे game.com slash game.html. So multiple things we can do it over here on the top of AWS cloud, right? Just a one beginning in this case, but I don't want to use this AWS cloud in this way. I want to use AWS cloud using a Python code. So what I want to write one code in Python. Technically, what will happen in this code? I will go and run this Python code, or this Python code runs up automatically. This code go on the top of AWS cloud and they do login to my account, right? And they launch one EC2 instance for me, right? this, we need one Python library. This library is called as Boto3 as a library. So Boto3 is one of the library which will help us to launch the infrastructure on the top of cloud. So if you have a requirement, you want to launch the infrastructure on the top of cloud, we use Boto3 as a library, right? And this library, we write some code, right? This code becomes very easy code, nothing big deal. This code will go and do the authentication. So behind the scene, AWS, we need to verify our account also. So verify our account. So entire setup we are doing it today, guys. Slowly as we proceed in the further classes, to we are not writing this code today. Maybe if we get a time, we will do it. But technically understand the core concept or logic here first. राइट सो बोटो 3 ये कोड जब रन होगा, ये कोड जाके AWS क्लाउड पे ऑथेंटिकेशन करेगा. Authentication in the sense they will go and require to prove their identity. AWS will tell me why I will run your code, which account I will run your code. So for this case, we have to verify our identity first here. अगर ह्यूमंस होते तो हम हमारा अकाउंट का पासवर्ड दे देते और ये कोड हमारे लॉगिन हो जाता. But again, we are not humans. This is done by technically a Python program. तो पाइथन प्रोग्राम में टेक्निकली यहाँ पे की बेस्ड ऑथेंटिकेशन यूज होता है. की बेस्ड ऑथेंटिकेशन, राइट? इन दिस वी नीड टू गिव एक्सेस की और सीक्रेट की दोनों हमारे केस. तो AWS की जो एक फीचर है, AWS ने एक टूल क्रिएट किया है. इस टूल का नाम है AWS CLI एज ए टूल. सो किसी भी अकाउंट में हमें लॉगिन करना होगा तो हम AWS CLI टूल को डाउनलोड करेंगे. वो हमें हेल्प करेगा ऑथेंटिकेशन में हमारे Boto3 लाइब्रेरी को. टू डाउनलोड दिस टूल, you guys can go and search on AWS CLI over here. Download something like this. Click on download the latest version of code and let me select the version. So maybe I'm selecting, scroll down my Windows operating system. So I am selecting maybe this version. Right. So in my downloads folder, this code will be downloaded. So I go and download this tool file, which is AWS CLI code here. So you can see this code is running here. This entire tool setup is running. They're asking me computing space here. Please wait while the setup wizard prepare. So migrating features from some. In my tool, in my case, this is already installed, but the latest version, whatever it is, I'll just click on next, accept the license agreement, click on next, and click on install. Once I click on install, they'll wait for asking them for yes and no. And after some time, they will install. They're prompting me for yes. I said yes. Now after some time, they will go and launch. They will the entire install or the entire tool called AWS CLI in my system. अब AWS CLI किस अकाउंट को वेरीफाई करेगा? तो जनरली ये जो अकाउंट है हमारा, इसको बोला जाता है रूट अकाउंट. तो इन दिस केस इफ यू वांट टू क्रिएट मल्टीपल डिफरेंट सब अकाउंट्स, फॉर एग्जांपल एक कंपनी में आपका AWS अकाउंट एक रहेगा. एवरी यूजर लाइक टॉम इज वन यूजर, जैक इज द यूजर, Eric is the user. One second, guys. Jack, Eric, Pop. These are all the different users, right? ये different user है. ये मान लो Tom belongs to development team. Maybe Jack belongs to production team, right? Maybe Eric belongs to maybe testing team. Maybe P belongs to a management team. राइट. सो ऑल द डिफरेंट टूल्स वी वांट टू डू अ लॉगिन. तो यहाँ पे अगर हमें लॉगिन करना होता तो हम डायरेक्टली रूट अकाउंट पे लॉगिन करते हैं यहाँ पे, बट हमको नहीं लॉगिन करना है, हमारा पाइथन कोड को लॉगिन करना है. उसके लिए एक सर्विस है AWS में, उसको बोला जाता है IAM एज अ सर्विस. सो यहाँ पे हम एक यूजर क्रिएट कर लेंगे और उस यूजर का एक्सेस की और सीक्रेट की हम हमारे AWS CLI को दे देंगे, ताकि जब भी हम पाइथन का कोड रन करें Boto3 का, ऑटोमेटिकली दे गो and or do the authentication over there. So now if I click on this, this entire setup is done. Now I go to AWS Cloud, search for IAM as a service, identity and access management. And in this access management and identity and access management, I click on users, IAM users. And here in the IAM users, I am searching for different types of users. So again, clicking on new, create a new users. In my case, guys, this is created here. आपके केस में नहीं created होगा. I just click on create new user here. Now here they give you the username. Give any of the username. Maybe I'm giving the username as Boto3. Just a name, Boto. I'm giving the name over here. So do you want to provide access to management console? I said no. What is the password of this account? I am custom. I want to set it up over here. Maybe I'm saying I want a password here called some password I'm generating, guys. Some random password. So I don't want to show password my password. And there's one more option here. Whenever user come up or first time they sign up, do you want to tell them to sign up or do the authentication or rechange the password? We can do that also, but I don't want to give this permission right now. So click on next. Now this is very important for concept. यहाँ पे हमें different permission देनी होंगी. क्या ये यूजर EC2 देख सकता है? आंसर इज हम उसको डिसाइड करेंगे उसको क्या परमिशन हमें देनी है. If you want to give a permission where user will go and do the setup, though user will can delete, user can access, user can do multiple things. So in this case, we can give one access called administrator access. So I'm giving this account administrator access over here in this case. So I scroll down, I click on next and just click on create user. Once you click on create user, right, you can download the CSV file of this user. It contains the username and password of those particular user. तो I click on return to the user list. तो कैन सी Boto3 नाम का एक यूजर यहाँ पे क्रिएट हो गया है. अब इस यूजर के अंदर हम MFA एनेबल कर सकते हैं, हम टन्स ऑफ अदर थिंग एनेबल कर सकते हैं, बट आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड फॉर एनेबल एंड एनीथिंग अदर एल्स. व्हाट आई वांट टू रादर वांट अ एक्सेस की ओवर हियर. सो हमें एक्सेस की क्रिएट करनी है इस यूजर की. तो आई क्लिक्ड ऑन एक्सेस की आइकॉन एंड आफ्टर दैट they ask me what is the use case, whether you are using it for running some local code, whether you are running on some third party services. I am saying I am using it on the command line tool. So click on CLI and click on I understand and accept the license here and click on next as an option in this case. Now this is the tag. Whether you give a tag, it is okay. Whether you don't give it, click on create access key. So right now of my account, this is my access key and this is my secret key. Very important. I don't want to share my secret key with anyone here. Right? So I don't want to share anyone here in this case. So instead what I will do, I'll just not show this key. सो अब ये एक्सेस की सीक्रेट की हमारे पास आ चुकी है. हमें AWS के कंसोल को इस पे लॉग इन करना होगा. तो हमें AWS को लॉग इन करना होगा CLI के थ्रू. एट दैट टाइम वी आर गोइंग टू यूज AWS कमांड. तो एक कमांड लाइन टूल जो हमने AWS का डाला इंस्टॉल किया था, यू कैन सी मल्टीपल डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस. यू टाइप AWS --- version, they give you the version of AWS in this case. They're telling me AWS का version ये है, Python का version ये है, Windows का version ये है. These are so many different version given over here, right? In this case, I want to tell AWS, okay, I don't want to go and use this. Instead, I want to configure the account. So AWS configure is one of the command. You press enter, they ask you for your access key. तो बिहाइंड द सीन जब भी हम Boto3 लाइब्रेरी का कोड यूज करेंगे, दे विल रिलाई ऑन AWS CLI for authentication purpose, right? So entire authentication purpose, they'll rely on AWS CLI over here. In this case I want to rely, तो बोटो 3 जब भी हम यूज करेंगे यहाँ पे बोटो 3 का कोड, तो ये कोड जब भी रन होगा ये AWS CLI पे वेरीफाई करेगा। AWS CLI उसकी आइडेंटिटी प्रूव करेगा, यानी ऑथेंटिकेशन होगा। तो ऑथेंटिकेशन के लिए ओनली वन टाइम सेटअप वी हैव टू डू इट। सो टेक्निकली एक बार हमें इस अकाउंट का एक एक्सेस की को कॉपी करना है यहाँ से, और यहाँ पे हमें इसको एंटर करना है। सो आई पेस्टेड, सॉरी कंट्रोल सी, स्टॉप इट एंड अगेन रन AWS कॉन्फ़िगर कमांड। तो इसको एक्सेस की यहाँ से कॉपी करते हैं और इसको यहाँ पे एंटर करते हैं पेस्ट करके। ये आप लोग अपने अकाउंट का करोगे, डोंट एंटर फॉर माय अकाउंट हियर। आई प्रेस्ड एंटर। नाउ दे आर आस्किंग मी सीक्रेट की। सीक्रेट की इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आई डोंट वांट टू शेयर माय सीक्रेट की विद एनीवन, बट मान लेते हैं सीक्रेट की लुक्स लाइक दिस ओवर हियर, फॉर एग्जांपल some random value, कुछ numbers और कुछ values है। Let's suppose this is my secret key. So in this case I am pressing enter. This is random value, I am wrong value, I have entered। आपको नहीं enter करना है, आपको ये secret key enter करनी है यहाँ पे। तो इसको कॉपी कर लेना, इसको यहाँ पे पेस्ट कर देना, योर सीक्रेट की विल कम अप। नाउ दे टेल यू विच रीजन यू वांट इट। तो AWS ने हर एक इंस्टेंस को, हर एक वर्ल्ड को डिफरेंट डिफरेंट रीजन में दे रखा है, और हर एक रीजन का डिफरेंट नेम है। जैसे मुंबई एक रीजन है, तो मुंबई रीजन का नाम है AP साउथ 1। ओसाका एक रीजन है, तो इसका नाम है AP नॉर्थ ईस्ट 2। तो हमें ये नाम देना है, हम चाहते हैं कि हम हमारा इंस्टेंस को मुंबई में लॉन्च करें, तो हम यहाँ पे मेंशन करेंगे AP-South-1। बाय डिफॉल्ट यहाँ पे AP साउथ 1 ही सेट है। आई सिलेक्टेड इट ओवर हियर इन दिस केस, एंटर। दे आस्किंग मी आउटपुट फॉर्मेट, प्रेस एंटर, नथिंग बिग डील। तो AWS कॉन्फ़िगर हो चुका है यहाँ पे इन दिस केस। लाइक दिस यू नीड टू कॉन्फ़िगर योर AWS account from the CLI. Now in the near future, tomorrow's class, some basics of cloud we have given it, and the upcoming class which will be having from Monday to Friday we have this session. So from Monday we are going to go and see बोटो 3, और अब हम देखेंगे कि पाइथन के कोड के थ्रू, जो भी हमने पाइथन का कोड लिखा है उस कोड के थ्रू हम एक ऐसा कोड लिखेंगे कि ये AWS क्लाउड पे जाएगा और यहाँ पे एक इंस्टेंस को लॉन्च कर देगा। नॉट जस्ट इंस्टेंस, tons of other things, guys, tons of other things. Slowly you will see we have started integrating Python and AWS over there. It is just like a today's session was just like a some very basics of cloud, and some hands-on practical like how to create a Apache web server, how to install and create your own Apache web server on the top of cloud. So very basic part. Make sure, guys, we have the next session on Monday, but very exclusive. We are coming up tomorrow, right? Technically my mentor, my guru is Vimal Daga sir. He's coming up live tomorrow on he will be delivering one of the workshop which is absolutely free for you guys on OpenShift AI. Very interesting technology, guys, and specifically this tool is widely used in 5G networking. So if you remember from 4G network to 5G, how these companies have started sudden shifting, like 4G पहले available था, 3G से 4G में shift करने के लिए every companies have to launch the towers and other things. But 4G से 5G shift करने के लिए all of a sudden the companies has happened. Why? One of the main reason the tool or behind the scene was OpenShift as a tool. Not just this, again this tool, if you know Kubernetes or any other topic, so again more advanced than Kubernetes, more advanced than Docker. This tool is available, and this is almost enterprise tool. Every company is using this tool like crazy, and it has a lot of great use cases. So tomorrow he's coming up live at the afternoon hours. So I'll just be share the QR code of it, so you guys can go and join it. Definitely I'll be also joining the session at tomorrow 4 p.m. So you guys can find it out and be a part of this workshop, right? So give me 1 second, let me share the QR code of it to you guys. So I'm just stop my screen share for a second. So my team has just given you this QR code. Yeah, so I'm just sharing this QR code. This is the live is coming up, right? And always, guys, whatever we are learning here, uh, more than that, definitely you're going to go and see it in the tomorrow's session. So I'm also super excited, even though I am also worked months of like multiple global certifications. I've done it in OpenShift, but OpenShift AI I am also learning in the first time. But I am definitely learning it from my mentor and my guru, who is Vimal Daga sir, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Right. So make sure you guys also join me, join him, and you guys will get hundreds of extra, like the deep understanding of how this tool works. Right. So it's coming up live tomorrow. Scan this QR code and be ready for the tomorrow's session at 4 p.m. Right. And attendance, you guys have to mark it in the form, which is technically added in your WhatsApp group description. So use that form and you can put all your Q&A in the live chat over here. Live chat, एक बार मुझे. So guys, any questions? Anybody? Zahid Khan, thank you for your valuable words. Guys, ये आप लोग जो comment कर रहे हो, it is not the marked as your attendance. Live chat is only for the Q&A. Make sure कि आप ask it for the Q&A over here. So live chat is for Q&A. For your attendance, you have to mark your comment over there. Any other questions, guys? Tushar, Netlify and Versal, they are using multiple DevOps tools in the market. So they're not just like drag and drop. It requires you need to understand multiple DevOps tools also over there. So once you understood your different DevOps tools, at that time you can understand what exactly they are using it over there. So robotics engineering, Prakash, robotics engineering is mostly used. It requires IoT and other different tools you need to understand, but it's there also we use Python as a programming language. We have a great use case of Python in IoT also. No, Ajit, we will not have Terraform and Docker. It is cloud and AWS only. Sumant, informative session on AWS and and its services. So Sumant, it is just a starting. It was a very basic, but slowly, as we proceed further, we will start integrating Python with AWS Cloud and tons of other things over there. पुष्कर क्लाउड इंजीनियरिंग में डीएसए किस पर कर क्लाउड इंजीनियरिंग में डीएसए नहीं होता है डीएसए डिफरेंट होता है डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिदम क्लाउड में डीएसए नाम का कोई कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है उसमें डीएसए हम जनरली करते हैं पाइथन सी प्लस प्लस या जावा के साथ आप किसी भी प्रोग्रामिंग के साथ लैंग्वेज के साथ डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एंड एल्गोरिदम को यूज कर सकते हो No worries if you don't understand how to create your AWS account. After the session, my team will drop you one video in your WhatsApp group. वहाँ पे जाके उस वीडियो को चेक कर लेना and then you will get the access of the video. From there you can create your own AWS account. भव्या अभी हमने स्टार्ट किया है क्लाउड को धीरे धीरे हम जैसे जैसे आगे प्रोसीड करेंगे हम इसको और डिटेल में देखेंगे तो ये जस्ट डे वन था क्लाउड का हमारे केस में अच्छा पुष्कर वॉज आस्किंग डीएसए कौन सी लैंग्वेज में बेटर होगा सो पुष्कर मल्टीपल एनी ऑफ द लैंग्वेज यू कैन यूज इट फॉर डीएसए बट डेफिनेटली आई रिकमेंड यूज पाइथन क्योंकि पाइथन बहुत सिंपलर है और इजी टू यूज है हम इसका यूज करके क्विकली पूरा अपना डेटा स्ट्रक्चर एल्गोरिदम का कोड क्विकर लिख सकते हो मे बी इन द नियर फ्यूचर आप कभी इंडस्ट्री में जाओ और कुछ प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट सॉल्व करो राइट तो मैनी इंटरव्यू के लिए इट विल हेल्प यू लॉट the problems you will be able to solve it quicker so I recommend data structure algorithm with python is more easier but अगर आपको जाना है तो you can go with any of the programming language guys, somebody please give my answer. So, burger small, someone was the name with it. So, if you can, I'm searching what you asked it. If you can repeat your question, I'm not able to see your question here. No worries, guys. You will also get a notes of it on our LMS portal. So soon my team will share you a mail from where you will get the entire access of LMS portal, wherein we'll have multiple quiz also in the upcoming days. So slowly we'll start accessing. We'll provide you. Don't worries. So we'll give you a step-by-step documents, a kind of a note, so that it will be available with you for them for lifelong. पिकवेयर ऑटोमेशन में सी आई सी डी पाइपलाइन यूज होती है क्या डेफिनेटली 100% यूज होती है सी आई सी डी इज यूज फॉर कंटिन्यूस इंटीग्रेशन एंड कंटिन्यूस डिप्लॉयमेंट या कंटिन्यूस डिलीवरी या डिप्लॉयमेंट बोल सकते हैं उसको वी यूज इट अ लॉट इन द रियल वर्ल्ड इंडस्ट्री तो जितने भी मॉडर्न एप्लीकेशन है चाहे हॉटस्टार हो नेटफ्लिक्स हो अमेजोन हो एवरीबडी इज इन द वर्ल्ड आर यूजिंग द सी आई सी डी एज अ पाइपलाइन टू डिलीवर the output to like जो streaming हो रही है for that purpose everybody is using CI/CD pipeline for automation purpose. Ankit, DSA learning with C++ is also good. You can learn it with C++ or any other language. It is perfectly okay. Uh, if you're talking about CI/CD, again, it's a tool, multiple tools we have to use. Picaware, Jenkins is a tool, Circle CI is a tool. We have multiple tools. GitLab is one of the tool. So tons of other tools are available. CI/CD is a concept. Using multiple different tools, we can go and use it. Okay, so that is one thing. Don't put your comment here right now in the chat box. Live chat पे आपका comment नहीं होगा. Mark your comment in the comment after the stream ends. Okay, so that's it, guys, for my side for the day. See you guys tomorrow. Not tomorrow. The next session will be on Monday. Tomorrow QR code just shared you. My team will just reshare the QR code over here. So it'll be visible. This QR code will be visible. You guys can scan it here. How to master the Linux along with the sessions. So Tushar, you can go and learn multiple topics. You can go and start for RHCSA as a course. Multiple different courses available in Linux. You can do it over there. Okay, the QR code is available here. Quickly go and scan it and become a part of the some biggest open AI workshop happening tomorrow. So please go and join it, and see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the OpenShift workshop. And we will continue back our session on Monday. So it will next session of this continuation will be on Monday. So that's it for my side, guys. So the live you said with it. Yeah, Kishan Kumar, whatever we are learning here will be having the certification. You guys will receive the certification from our side in the end. Okay. अब बोटो थ्री और EC2 का इंस्टेंस शंकर नेक्स्ट क्लास में आपको पता चल जाएगा. जस्ट स्मॉल वर्ड्स में हम बोटो थ्री इज अ लाइब्रेरी और जेंकिंस टूल है CI/CD पाइपलाइन के लिए, और EC2 इंस्टेंस का नाम है जो हमें ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम प्रोवाइड करेगा AWS क्लाउड पे. Guys, don't spam the chat box. I understood you are not able to know how to create your AWS account. Don't worry, my team will share you a video. आप उस वीडियो को जाके देख लेना इस सेशन के बाद. And if you need any help, I'll ask my team. They will also burger small. You asked me for 5 times. I'm repeating here twice. So my team will share you one video of how to create a AWS account. आप उस वीडियो को देख के फॉलो कर लेना. Your AWS account will be created. Second thing, I'll also ask my team to share you a Discord channel link so that you guys can become a part of a community and where you guys can ask us any technical related questions. नो, पिकावेयर CI/CD के लिए मैंडेटरी नहीं है. डिवॉप्स या जेंकिंस में जाना चाहिए. बट अगर आप इंडिपेंडेंट टूल है जेंकिंस, आप सेपरेटली भी सीख सकते हो. इट इज ऑल्सो यूज इन MLOps एंड ऑल्सो लॉट मोर अदर टॉपिक्स, लॉट मोर अदर प्रोफाइल ऑल्सो ओवर देयर इन द इंडस्ट्री. सो आप डेफिनेटली जेंकिंस को डायरेक्टली भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हो. बट इफ यू लर्न इट विद डॉकर एंड अदर टूल्स, सो इंटीग्रेशन पर्पस इसका बहुत ईजी हो जाता है. पिकावेयर CI/CD मैंडेटरी तो है डेवॉप्स में. मोस्ट ऑफ द डेवॉप्स जॉब रोल आस्क यू CI/CD टूल्स for becoming a DevOps engineer over there. Yes, definitely. Anime fan here. You can use your college from your college AWS account. You can use it for learning purpose. शोएब, अटेंडेंस में आपको इस स्ट्रीम एंड होने के बाद कमेंट का स्क्रीनशॉट लेना है और उस स्क्रीनशॉट को आपको उस फॉर्म के अंदर ऐड करना है. Yes, Nishant, it will start back again soon in the upcoming days. So it's just a new initiative from our side here. No master, if you upload master x hyphen z1, so अगर आप complete कर लेते हो उस session को, तो it will be again my team will update and give you the certificate. Okay, so that's it, guys, from my side for the day. See you guys tomorrow in the OpenShift AI workshop, and we will continue back our journey, guys, on Monday. Pika, we are going to use AWS Cloud as a platform. We will not be using Azure and any other platform here. So Azure and GCP, almost everything concept will be the same. Just वहाँ पे service का नाम change हो जाएगा. Okay. So that's it, guys, from my side for the day. Thank you everyone for joining. See you guys tomorrow at OpenShift AI workshop, and see you guys. We'll continue back our journey in Monday from Monday. So that's it. Make sure you have an active AWS account with you. Okay. So that's it from my side, guys. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a great day and see you guys in the next session.